We're excited to be here on GMFB. We've got Will Selva out in the newsroom in Culver City this morning with the news. Hey, Will.
All right, thank you, Kay. Well, Damon Snacks Harrison never made the holdout shrine there on the set in New York, but he skipped the Lions' offseason workouts as he sought a new contract. Well, the Lions' defensive tackle got what he was looking for as he signed a one-year extension worth $11 million, with $11 million in guaranteed money over the next 2 seasons. This, according to NFL Network insider Ian Rappaport. Harrison had 2 years left on his deal before signing the extension. Seahawks head coach Pete Carroll says wide receiver DK Metcalf had minimal knee surgery and they'll go week to week with the recovery, but expect him back relatively soon. The one thing Carroll is concerned about is the valuable snaps and reps Metcalf has missed due to the injury. Another receiver missing some time is Browns wideout Odell Beckham Jr. He's dealing with a hip injury and is not expected to play against the Bucs on Friday. OBJ has not participated in team drills since August 6th, but has indicated he expects to be good to go for the regular season opener against the Titans. Well, head coach Freddie Kitchens not concerned about OBJ missing any reps.
Just because he's not out there doing team drills doesn't mean we're not getting work done. Does it fall in the avenue of adversity? I wouldn't say so. No, I haven't really put it in those terms. But if you in a perfect world, you'd have 90 guys stay healthy all throughout camp. So every time someone goes down, there's to someone it's adversity. It may just be to the backup. So the adversity may be to those younger receivers that are getting these reps, and then the reps start piling up on them, which again, then you're into the exposure or exposed business to see what you can do.
Can't get enough of those Freddie Kitchens sound bites. Can't get enough of my man Peter and also Kyle out there in their Canadian tuxedos in downtown Winnipeg. Oh, wait, no, you guys are just hitting the streets there in New York. Gentlemen, take it away.
Yeah, Will, we are here in Lower Manhattan in New York City, but we are dressed like this. These are called Canadian tuxedos because the NFL is in Canada tonight. We've got the Raiders and the Packers playing out in Winnipeg. Winnipeg, Manitoba, what a province.
Any Canadian celebrities you want to shout out to, Peter?
Yeah, I would love to shout out to Chad Kroeger, lead singer of Nickelback. What's up, man? It leads to a segment we call Street Fighters, and we're on the street and we fight about things. Yeah, Kyle. My first question in the Street Fighter segment. Yeah. The Raiders, the brand, Al Davis, silver and black, commitment to excellence. What is more Raiders? Their next destination, Las Vegas, or tonight's destination, Winnipeg? And I'm going to take the Winnipeg side.
Do what you're born to do.
Anybody can go to the West Coast and enjoy the weather and be a bad guy. Go to 13 degrees Fahrenheit, or better yet, negative 13 degrees Celsius, and try to be a tough guy, because that's what you get in Winnipeg. There's an awesome zoo out there in Winnipeg.
Yeah.
What's it called? The Assiniboine Zoo. You want to talk about a cool place? Go to Winnipeg, all right? We're talking about great sports history. We're talking about the Manitoba Moose minor league hockey team. We're talking about the Winnipeg Blue Bombers CFL team. We're talking about Teppo Numminen and Teemu Selanne and Thomas Steen. Winnipeg's the real deal. If you don't know about Winnipeg, then you gotta get another clue, because I'll tell you what, Kyle, Vegas is cool and rad and great for your
that guy loves Vegas.
Winnipeg is the real deal.
That feel good, Peter?
That felt real good.
I mean, I guess, Canada and Vegas have a lot in common. They've both given us bare naked ladies. But I would say, Peter, you can talk about some zoo in Winnipeg. Have you ever seen Wayne Newton's hair? It is literally silver and black. It could be not more perfect for the Raiders. And look at the Raiders, and then look at, Brittany. Both of them with Gruden, led by charismatic blondes who are still living off hits from the early 2000s, and we're going to see if they still have their fastball. But, Peter, the autumn wind in Winnitoba is about 12 degrees. Winnitoba, listen, it's not just Winnipeg, baby, and Al Davis would punch you in the face if you're suggesting taking his great American team out of this country, Peter. How dare you?
All right, so the Bengals play the Giants tonight in Cincinnati. We're on to Cincinnati. And a question begs to, two quarterbacks who have gotten a lot of heat.
Yeah.
Who do you think gets criticized more and has a bigger chip on their shoulder this season? Andy Dalton or Eli Manning? I'll go with
Go
Dalton.
first. What do you got?
I feel like Dalton is almost the Mendoza line of quarterbacks. Like, everyone's like, well, this quarterback should get paid because Andy Dalton gets paid. And I feel like his career is very disrespected. He's taken his team to the playoffs 5 different times. Do you know how many times Derek Carr has taken his team to the playoffs?
Sort of once.
Yeah. Do you know how many times some of these other big quarterbacks have gotten paid, have taken their playoffs? Less than Andy Dalton. Has he won? No, but he'll get there. He's still young. And last year, Kyle, they were 5-3 to start the year. He gets injured. They're 5-5. And then the team loses 4 of their last 5 games and misses the playoffs. Andy Dalton is a winning quarterback in this league. He just hasn't won in January. I think his rep is very, very bad.
All right. Well, listen, I look at Andy Dalton as he's very likable. He's been around forever. He just can't get that big win. He's like the Bernie Sanders of quarterbacks. You know what I'm saying? But I look at, imagine Andy Dalton. Imagine also if he had led his whole division in offense last year and he had brought Cincinnati 2 Super Bowls. Imagine if he was still getting disrespected. That's Eli. And if I'm Eli, you know what I'm most disrespected about? This idea that he didn't want Daniel Jones to get drafted, that it was a slight to him. Let me tell you, if I'm Eli, I'm saying, didn't want it. I ordered the whole thing. I'm almost done here with the Giants. Bring in the heir apparent. Do you really think that my family and I want to live in New Jersey any longer than we already have? That's the slight. Eli's more slighted.
Really quickly, we're talking about that same team. The Browns have been all anyone's talking about, and they're talking about the Giants a lot. Who do you think it annoys more, Bengals fans or Giants fans, that all we talk about is the Browns? I think the Bengals fans. They're 21-9 the last 30 times they played the Browns. They've been the team of Ohio the last decade, and all anyone wants to do is crown the Browns, a team they beat up on for the last 15 years. I think Bengals fans are kind of annoyed with all the Browns talk.
You know, this is street fighting, Peter, but I kind of agree with you because here's what we have with the Bengals. There's nothing worse than an obnoxious neighbor, and that's really what Cleveland is to them, let alone an obnoxious neighbor that's proved nothing, and they're holding this big bash and there's inflatable dolls out on the yard and everybody's got White Claws and everyone's making all this noise. It's one thing if you're the Bengals. It's like if the Steelers and Ravens want to come by every once in a while and egg our house, that's fine. We'll get out there with the squeegee or some Goo Gone and get it off. But how dare you? I'm not going to stand here and get disrespected by Cleveland. We have been in the playoffs 7 times since you guys have. Keep the noise down. Come over and mow my lawn every once in a while.
That's it for
Cincy.
Street Fighters. We love it out here.
We love
in
New York.
Everyone's happy. There's football
Shut
tonight.
up.
Giants Bengals tonight. There's also the game in Manitoba. But now,
Like the
next
Jets
on
or
the
Giants?
show, we got plenty
Giants,
more to
he
talk about.
says.
How about the Kansas City Chiefs?
How about them?
They look pretty good. We'll talk about the Chiefs quite a bit after
So more
this.
about this zoo, though, in Manitoba or whatever
great.
it's called, yeah?
It's great.
Well, they got walrus and caribou and all that.
They've got every animal you can imagine.
They do?
We also are going to talk about